This is a word to all of the super popular, mega famous, huge preachers in this country who have alienated themselves from millions of people in this country, as well as others in the world, by missing one simple principle that the Apostle Paul teaches very clearly in the book of 1 Corinthians as well as in Romans. Here's the principle. If something I do causes somebody else to stumble, i.e. my brother, Paul said, I will never do that thing again. Okay? Check out 1 Corinthians, I believe it's 7, 8, and 9. I might be a chapter off in there, but he goes into depth about it, about how in his day, eating meat in some people's minds was sinful. So he said, even though I know eating meat is not sinful, I refuse to do it around these people for their sake, because they will be stumbled in their thinking and in their conscience when I do that. The principle is that you always govern your own freedom out of love for others. Always, always, always. Love is the highest value. Love governs freedom. Freedom that is not governed by love and tempered by love will always hurt somebody. What does this have to do with you guys? You guys, especially I'm talking to you who make all this money. I say this in great humility, but I say it. There's nothing wrong with making money, okay? However, when you make a lot of money and you don't do things that are in line with making a ton of money, okay, i.e. helping the poor, i.e. paying your employees a living wage, i.e. doing the things Jesus would do if he had a lot of money, right? You get the point, okay? Millions starve and die under bridges and poverty and abject homelessness and all kinds of things. And you guys are living in the lap of luxury, okay? Not all of you. I'm just talking to a handful, okay? Now, even if God was really blessing you guys and giving you all that money, even if that was the case, even if you were, as I've heard it said, just living by the principles of the kingdom and God was prospering you, the fact that you live that way when millions and billions of people don't stumbles millions and billions, okay, maybe not billions, millions of people. In their minds, that's hypocritical, it's selfish, it's greedy, it's opulent, and you're not living in their minds as Jesus would live, okay? Maybe they're wrong. Maybe it's okay for you to have all that money and not help the poor. And maybe you even do help the poor. Maybe you do, okay? But in millions of people's minds, when you have $1 million mansions, when you fly in jets all over the place, when you live these lifestyles, okay? And then people look around and they see the world around them in dire need. You stumble millions of people in their minds. You see the point? You're not governing your own freedom. You want to make money? Make money. Okay? But don't live lifestyles with that money that stumble millions and millions of people. Right? The Apostle Paul was very clear in Romans 7, 8, and 9. Okay? And he also talks about, 1 Corinthians 7, 8, and 9. And in Romans 12, and it might even be Romans, I forget. He mentions it a couple times in Romans, okay? Possibly Romans 14. Don't quote me on that. I know he talks about it a lot. The principle is, if your freedom is causing someone else to stumble, you should not do it. Or you should at least do it in a way that other people don't know about it, to put it bluntly. Because when you're a person of influence, it's always about influence, people. Influence, influence, influence. What are you doing with your influence? That's a word for everybody. What are we all doing with our influence? But I'm speaking directly to you guys. You influence millions and millions and millions of people, and the majority of them are not your followers. How are you influencing them? Thank you, and have a nice day.